chance to go anywhere together.
Oh, let me give you a hug.
But we didn't get any time off up there. We worked 7 days a week for 8 weeks straight. 73 and a half hours 1 week, and 90 miles a day to get there and back.
So, Everett, when you were born?
October 8th, 1936, they tell me.
Were you born here on the farm?
No, I'm a foreigner.
You're
We're across the valley over the part on the other hill where Dave Holton lives.
Oh, yeah, that's quite foreign.
My uncle and aunt lived there, and had 2 Craftsbury doctors. Dr. Easton and Dr. Bibby were both there, and I guess I was kind of stubborn about being expelled. And it was colder than hell that night. They had the potatoes dug in bags on the barn floor, and they froze. Dad said he guessed it might have been the coldest 8th of October he had ever seen, because potatoes freeze in a bag on the barn floor. It was quite chilly.
And that was in 39.
36.
36. Now, did you go to school here in
North Wolcott.
In North Wolcott?
We were the last Craftsbury kids that went to North Wolcott all through the 20s. After they closed the hatch school up here in 36, the Craftsbury kids in this corner of town all went to North Wolcott. Well, I started the 7th of September in 1943 in the 1st grade. And when we got down to the spring of 1950, we were the last Craftsbury kids that ever went to North Wolcott.
So you pretty much went right through the whole schooling, right?
Well, I went 6 years down there.
Yeah.
Then in the fall of 1950, we went to Common. That's when the Craftsbury put the kids all together. We went to Common for the 7th and 8th grade in high school. So, all in 1950. We were the last Craftsbury kids that ever went to North Wolcott.
So when did you end up here on the Demeritt farm?
Dad was 4.5 years old in 1909 when they came here.
So he had this farm even far back as that?
Grant and Grammy bought it of old Dan Sargent. Old Dan Sargent lived down here in North Wolcott. He died in February of 56. A good old man, crippled, kind of disabled. He had a terrible rupture. But when he was a younger man, I guess he bought and dickered in farms. And old Howard Stevens did too. But they bought this farm in 1909, December 1909, of Dan Sargent for $1,000.
Wow.
And they wrote 20 predated payment receipts of $50 a year. And I've got them all somewhere. Beautiful, most gorgeous writing you've ever seen.
Probably cursive.
Yes, but beautiful, beautiful writing. Well, they made the $50 a year payments for...
They did a lot in calligraphy back in those days.
Well, it was, and beautiful job. I ain't sure where they are now. I've moved them somewhere, and I ain't sure where they are. But it was 20 predated payment receipts. And they made 2 or 3 at $50 a year, and then they sold the timber to Lake Miller. Lake was Homer Miller's father for $300. Well, that all went on the farm, so that had cut it down to probably about $450. Had cut it down $450. So that would have left $550 on it. And then Dad's brother, Leon Button, died of the flu in Camp Devens, Massachusetts in 1918. And his death payments finished paying for the farm.
What was the name of your grandparents?
Well, Cora Wheeler Button Demeritt was Dad's mother, and William Henry Harrison Demeritt was his father.
When did they come over to the States?
Well, it would be their grandfather that was an English Revolutionary War soldier in the English Army.
Yeah.
For a little while. Well, he was taken prisoner soon after that, and he was released and settled in Stratford County, New Hampshire. And he had 3 boys there, and then he came to Williston, Vermont, and had 2 more. And we come from my youngest boy in Williston, Vermont. Let me show you the Civil War roster with my great-grandfather's name. Come on in here. That's the roster of Company D of the 5th Vermont Volunteers. Dad's grandfather is on that, William Demeritt. Take it down if you want, or you can really look at it. That artwork on that is just a beautiful piece of work.
I think I can get a close-up right from here.
So Everett, he must have been in the Civil War with my mother's grandfather, Robert Boyce, who was from North Wolcott.
Was he in Company D of the 5th Vermont?
What was he in, Keith?
He was in Company D.
He guarded.
Of the 5th Vermont.
He guarded the White House. I know that. We have his muster out paper.
Well,
Yeah.
that's Company D of the 5th Vermont. There were 13 regiments. William Letts, Demeritt's brother, Marcus, was in one of the 9 months regiments. And I've got a fife here, and new history on that. Mike Wheeler was Dad's uncle, lived
In Woodbury?
beside the police station in Marshville. He gave Dad this fife in 1951. Well, Dad gave it to Tony Washburn 40 years ago, and Tony gave it back to me 6 months ago. And he told me something I had never heard. He said, your father told me that Marcus Demeritt brought that home from the Civil War. Now, he was in one of the 9 months regiments, and the fifer was a Woodbury, name of Woodbury, from Woodbury. And I've got all the Civil War rosters. I've got all this information.
Yeah, he's buried right down here in Wolcott. Fred Boyce, my grandfather, the one that served.
No, it's Robert.
Robert, yeah, he served in the
Robert was
Civil
our
War.
grandfather.
Yeah, and yeah, he's buried just down the hill here a little ways. So he probably was in about the same time.
Well, they might have been, if it was Company D of the 5th Vermont, it was the same outfit.
He might be on
Take that down where you can read it.
Do you want me to hold the camera?
Maybe his name, if he's in that outfit, his name's on that roster.
That'd be interesting, wouldn't it? I don't know. Can I get to it?
Well, move this goddamn stuff if you have to.
You might be able to get to it from the front easier.
Yeah, those chairs ain't secured to the floor.
Okay.
I want to show you that place.
Is this running still?
That was information that I had never heard. Mike Wheeler didn't tell us a thing about it when he gave it to us. And I don't know how in the hell Mike Wheeler had it anyway, because he was my grandmother's brother. But Marcus Demeritt was my grandfather's brother. My great-grandfather's brother.
Here, you hold this, and maybe I can do it.
Well, this don't come out, so I don't think you can get it off.
It's probably in alphabetical order. I hate to take it down, really, to be honest with you. If I could get a chair to stand in, I could probably lean over and grab it.
What you got?
That fife. The fifer.
Oh yeah.
The fifer was from Woodbury, and he was with the Marcus Demeritt and got killed. And he brought. Now I never had heard this till Tony told me. If Dad had never said anything to me about this, and when Mike Wheeler gave it to us in '51, he didn't give any history. He probably didn't know any history.
Yeah, it's a cant from for bagpipe.
You know, it's a. Tony's had a few people play it, and they said it's a damn good one.
Yeah, there's a place where you can screw this right onto your pipes, and
Well, maybe I don't know that.
yeah, it's called a canter. Right here. They're wooden, and it pushes down onto the pipe bag. And you
So this is part of a bagpipe.
It is. So I had one, a new version, but
Did you learn to play it?
I spent 8 months to learn how to play about 3 tunes, so I gave up. It takes a lot of wind.
It takes a lot of skill too, but
And I'd probably blow out my false teeth if I tried it now.
Could be, I don't know.
That's a nice picture of the farm, isn't it?
Did you get that?
I couldn't reach it.
That roster down.
Yeah, we don't want to tear all this stuff out of here just to get it down.
Just pull them chairs out of the way and reach up and get it, because if your grandfather was in that outfit, his name's on that roster.
Here, let me move this, and I think we can.
They're all right here.
Do they matter? Jesus, we didn't come here to tear your house apart for you.
A little adjustment wouldn't do any harm anyway.
You're taller than me, Keith.
If he was in the 5th Vermont, his name is on that.
Company D.
Yeah, well, that is Company D.
Oh, I think you
There's
will.
5 companies in each roster. It's just a wire across the back. You just pick it out in one block.
My God.
All right. We might have to struggle to get it back up there, but let's look. Where do you want me to lay it down? I have my glasses on. I didn't bring my glasses.
I don't have mine either.
Look at the artwork on that. And the rosters is all made with that type of cover.
So he'd probably be here because it'd be Boyce. Have you got glasses? Can you see? I don't think I brought them with me. I think I left them at home.
No, I didn't bring my glasses.
So it would be Boyce.
Boice.
No, well, I don't know if it's here or not.
Or Boise, because Mom said something about they changed the spelling of it.
Just Ephraim Marcy, he was from Craftsbury here too. And Peggy Howard, that Tony lived with, and the Yellow Barn up to Hardwick, and she's still there some of the time, is a descendant of Ephraim Marcy.
You know, I think this says the 5th Regiment. He was in, I think, the 7th Regiment.
So he's probably not on
It
here.
wouldn't be on
The
this one.
7th.
This is Company D of the 5th Vermont. He was in the 7th.
It was Company D, but it was 7th.
Okay. Completely different.
I know they left here and they went down to Rutland for a while where they trained. And then they got on a train and went to Washington, and they were camped outside of Washington there for a while. You know, he fought in the wilderness, and
Well, he was in the wilderness too. He got wounded in the wilderness.
yeah, but there was all kinds of companies there.
Oh yes, oh yes.
There was probably, you know, most of them were
About
there.
all of them honors if they could get muster were there.
And they took a bunch of them down
All right,
there.
now see if you can put it back.
Okay. You hold on to that. Let me get the kitchen chair, and I think I can reach up there. Or the stool.
If he was in the 7th, I'll go get the rosters. I've got all the rosters since the Revolutionary War.
Yeah, you have quite a collection then,
I
huh?
do, yeah.
Okay, these are pictures. I don't want to.
Just lay them in that box good enough.
I don't want them to get lost here. This is what you should have done, Keith. All right, I think I'm good to go now.
Hey, Everett, what you got on your old videotapes?
About 25 or 30 about World War II and Korea and
Oh, stuff that you...
some of Vietnam and
Oh. I have a machine that can transfer those over to a regular playing disc. Guess she's going to do it, ain't she? For being short, she done all right.
I must have got it.
well, it appears you did.
I hope. Hope it doesn't fall down. Does that look okay?
Well, just plumb enough to suit me. He's plumber than it was. He won't plumb before. It has to be hot or it wouldn't.
Or it wouldn't stay.
That's
Okay.
right.
I don't want it to fall down.
Yeah, because there's only one area to notch it in, so.
So you ain't doing anything now. You're telling me you're 70 years old now.
Yeah, retired. Her and I hang out all the time, go out, like talking to older folks and find out about their lives and stuff.
No. You give up the store business because they're stealing your blind.
Yeah, and then law enforcement. Of course, I went back there to work for, I don't know, it was like 10, 15 years more of it. And then I retired from there, I think it was 7 years ago.
You work for the sheriff's department?
I worked for Gardner Minaj the first time around, then I ended up working for Roger Marcoux the second time.
Here, let me
Yeah.
go get on the side so I'm not. You don't have to look back
I
and
know it's
forth.
all right. I know it.
So, back to the farm here. When did you actually move on to the farm? Is it after your grandparents passed away? Or?
I presume that Dad and Mom made me right in what is the bathroom now in February of 1936.
So you pretty much.
So we was here and I went over to Uncle Mo's to be born and come back here a little while and then the spring of 38, we went up to that place, a mile up the road across the Hyde Park line. And we was there until the 20-something of April in 43.
Yeah.
We came back down here with horses and sleds. Maybe it was the 19th of April. Dad told me what day it was, but it was decent sledding in April when we moved back down here in 43.
So what kind of farm was it back in then? The same thing, just a few milking cows?
Well, yeah, but when they first come here, they were so goddamn poor they weren't even the animals.
Yeah.
Grammy wanted to raise a calf or something. She had to boil hay to get a tea because they want no milk and they want no money. And if she wanted to mail a letter, she had to sell some eggs to buy a stamp. And that's how goddamn poor they were, I'm telling you.
Yeah, it's beautiful land up here, though. I mean, I know it took quite a while to get it the way it is
Well,
today.
I bulldozed it all and harrowed it and picked the stones, the whole goddamn thing. There was 3 acres of rocks right out in the middle of that field out here. And the last time Dad mowed it was in 43. He said, I can't mow it anymore because I can't stay on the machine. Well, that all growed up to brush. There was popple trees and a couple of pine trees almost 2 foot through up there. So in 82, I started cleaning that up. And I got the brush all cut off and did what I could with my little 420 John Deere putt. And then I had Balone Cody's TD20 here for 6 days pushing off stones out of that field. And we got that all done. Then I hired Marvin Rowe, the TW20 Ford tractor, a 16-foot hydraulic stone picker, to pick stones on that 3 acres again. And then we got it done, and we still weren't satisfied. Then we used a subsoiler and tore it all up and did it again. Well, I had stones enough to build a road across the swamp up there.
Well, I believe
By God, I can mow this land now.
Yeah. When did you build your sawmill?
Started it 46 years ago. This one, we had one anyway.
Did you build this one, or did you?
No, I built it. Yes, I built the carriage and built it all. Well, I traded the tractor mill that we had with a fellow over in Milton in April of 73 for this lane number 1. But it wasn't completely lean. Some fucking idiot down the UVM helped this fella build it with oak carriage, and the carriage is all right, but they didn't have enough to make the wheels for it. They made special wheels. They had car wheel bearings, rear wheel bearings for the bearings in the axles. Well, they was all right if you were going to saw cedar. But I was sawing hardwood and roll them goddamn logs down and smash them bearings all to hell.
I remember I bought a bunch of cedar from you about 40 years ago.
You did?
Yeah, I did a bedroom all in cedar, and I come up here and you sawed out a bunch of cedar, but it was a long time ago.
Well,
yeah,
it was a hell of a job to get any cedar any good.
Yeah, that stuff that you sold me turned out pretty good.
Well, some of it did, but the cedar that grew on the Black River Valley here is the poorest cedar probably ever grew. There can be good cedar, but it don't grow in Orleans County.
Do you have to forge a lot of your stuff yourself up here for your mill to get it going, or
No, I had all the parts.
you had the parts to it? Yeah.
Well, they was complete when I traded the tractor mill for this one. It was complete anyway.
Did you run it off the tractor?
No, hell no. We had a U-21 International Power Unit on the tractor mill, 65 horse, FBB 298 engine designed in 1932. That was 65 horse. That's fair enough for that. And then when I built this mill, I bought an 18A International, UD 18A.
Yeah.
And that was 125 horse.
That's diesel?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I sold $5 million with that. Then bought a 13,000 cat. And probably sold another $5 or $6 million with that. Now I got a $16,000 Chalmers that come from Milton Mansfield Company. This Ellis Chalmers is 160 horse. I've always had power enough to turn my saws.
I guess so, with that size. When did you first run into the Bradley bunch?
Up to J Peak.
Oh,
I knew about them. But then in '68, you see, we all worked together down on the dormitories. Jimmy was there too.
Yeah.
Your father and I worked together quite a lot in '68 and '69.
But J Peak was before that, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
J Peak was
Because
'68.
weren't you putting up the cable lines and
Yeah,
stuff for the
yeah.
ski area? I remember that now. That was I remember Dad being up there.
The first of your father and I ever working together was putting window jam extensions in the big main lobby, where there's a big fireplace now. The fireplace was built in '67. But he and I worked together. There was inch and a quarter boards, and there were 6-inch boards. I just bought a brand new Miller's Falls miter box with a 5-inch deep saw. Well, the boards are